Hi, my name is Michael.
My name is Catherine.
Hello, I'm Dalila.
Hi, my name is Karime.
I studied abroad at the University of Edinburgh with the Scottish Universities program.
I studied abroad in fall 2021 in Amman, Jordan, in a program called Middle East Studies.
I studied fall 2021 in the Made in Italy program.
I studied abroad in Rome in the Communication Studies in Rome program.
I chose my program because I really wanted to study abroad. I wanted to see the world.
Being a first-gen student, I had never been in Europe, and I thought it was a perfect opportunity to study abroad and just engage myself in a different culture.
Here at UCSB, I'm a global studies major and my focus is the Middle East. So naturally, I wanted to study abroad there, learn what I couldn't learn just from textbooks alone.
In addition to me being able to study abroad, I wanted to continue my double majors wherever possible. And after speaking with advisors, speaking with the econ department, speaking with the statistics department, and speaking with EAP advisors, there was a lot of courses that already transferred over from Edinburgh, and that's where I ended up choosing it.
There are a lot of options to help you on top of your promised scholarship. There's outside scholarships or UC scholarships that will help you with finances. So that became a very small issue after finding out the option.
You know, from the UCSB level to the UC to the Department of State, I was able to find funding opportunities that made my study abroad experience possible. And honestly, it wouldn't have been possible if not for those scholarships. So I am so grateful to have had those.
A lot of other scholarships came in that allowed me to study abroad.
I loved my classes because, you know, UCSB is such a large university which has so many perks, but it was really nice to have a few months of studying in a small program. The most students in my program at one time was 6 students in a classroom, and really with that you get such an individualized approach.
In Italy, one of my classes was an art class, and we actually got to go to museums every class, and for that class we'd be in front of this amazing piece of work where we'd have our professor lecture us, or sometimes we'd be presenting about it. So it was just very different from seeing things in the textbook to seeing them in real life.
My Persian 1 course was probably my favorite one. I'd always wake up early and I'd go to it, and I made a lot of friends through the Persian 1 course actually. My environmental data science course, I grew a very academically. I have things that I have on my resume right now from that course, and I'm actually going to be going into a master's program just for environmental data science, partly because of that course.
I actually got to sit in and take notes on a meeting with the British Embassy in Amman. So that's just one of those experiences where with an internship, you're gaining skill sets that you wouldn't have anywhere else.
We were able to have a hands-on experience where we were on the sites learning about Roman architecture, just the culture, Roman history, but we were able to go there in person, which was amazing.
I was able to really forge those connections with faculty, with my internship advisors, with the people I met in Jordan in general. And actually, I did do some work there. I did a little story I reported on the side, and I was a recipient of the Overseas Press Club Foundation Student Journalist Award, which they give to a handful of students across the US every year. And that was based on the work I did in Jordan just on my free time because I had the passion for it. So already studying abroad in Jordan has opened doors for me for my career.
So there was a visiting student center at the University of Edinburgh that they were constantly available if we needed to meet with them, if we had any issues or anything like that. There was also the UCAP office.
I thought it was going to be much more difficult since it was a different country, but it was fairly easy, and they were always there to guide me through the process.
They had everything set for you in case you had an issue that came up.
You could go to anyone at any time to get help for anything. They are so dedicated to making sure you have the best time possible there for addressing any concerns you have, whether that be academics or housing or travel, really anything at all. I always knew that the CIEE staff was there.
At all times, if we had an issue about anything, you just email them and they could definitely sort it out for you. So they were always available.
During my time abroad, I was able to travel to a lot of other places.
If I had free time, I was either traveling across Europe, I was going to cultural orgs, I was going to academic orgs, different things that were just going on. There's always something going on.
I got to explore most of Italy. I went to France, Germany, Switzerland, and a bunch of other places.
I traveled all across Jordan, tried to get out of town every weekend to Wadi Rum, to Petra, to Aqaba, Jerash. There's so many gorgeous places, so many historical places to see within the country that honestly there was something to do every weekend while I was there.
Something I wish I knew before going abroad is how easy it was to do so. For me, I thought that it was a lot harder than it was, and that was like the main reason why I was like not discouraged but afraid to do it. But it was such an easy process. Like, it's so worth it.
I wish I knew not to pack so much clothes. I actually packed too many short sleeves, believe it or not. I wish I knew that the academics were going to be different. The academics are a bit more hands-off.
One thing I wish I knew before going abroad was that everyone going abroad is also as afraid as I was. We were all just trying to figure out our flights and how to get there. We're all in the same position, but we all figured it out.
You learn so much about yourself by going abroad, by moving across the world for a few months and really being isolated from your social system here. I think at UCSB it's so easy to kind of create this bubble and to be comfortable, to, have your friends, to have your department that you know, and to be able to contact your family at all times. All of these kind of experience you've cultivated here, I think it's such a great reminder that you need to step out of that and kind of go out of your comfort zone. And, there's no experience like that, compared to studying abroad. So if you are at all on the fence, just do it. You will not regret it.
I recommend studying abroad, especially as a Promise Scholar, because you're able to go explore a different country and their culture, as well as learn about the lifestyles out there. And I don't think you're ever gonna get this opportunity, probably ever, for you to go abroad for that long and to be able to just travel and study.
For Promise Scholars, I would recommend you all to study abroad. Being first-gen, low-income minority students, hadn't had the opportunities to explore, and this is one of the opportunities you have on the table right now. I would take it and see where it takes you.
I think Promise Scholars 100% should be studying abroad, because so many people, they get opportunities a lot of the time to travel abroad, but I know for almost all Promise Scholars that's really not an option. I had very few international experiences, coming in to study abroad, and now like graduating college, I know I'm gonna have to get a job, and travel's kind of on the back burner for a while. But this time in college, especially because the Promise Scholarship is so flexible in going from UCSB to being applied to study abroad, and because of all these scholarships available, there is literally no time that it will be so affordable to live abroad and to study abroad and to have this type of experience.
Oh, if you're a Promise Scholar thinking about going abroad, definitely go abroad. When are you gonna ever be able to have a scholarship pay for you to go to another country, go, explore whatever, like that region, make friends, make connections, network? Like right now is the best time, and it's a great resume builder, it's just amazing. It's just constant positives. And as a Promise Scholar, we have, guaranteed 4 years here at UCSB. Why not spend a quarter or a year of it going abroad to a different country, exploring different, cultures and ethnicities, and it's amazing. I definitely recommend Promise Scholar study abroad.